Hello guys, welcome. This is Deepika from wealthandhealthmastery.com, and in today's video we are going to do a full stock analysis on Palantir stock. Palantir just released its earning, and based on the earnings they have beaten up the estimates, and we are going to see their earnings report, and we are also going to see what are their projections for this year. Let's get started. The first important thing is, if you see here, the revenue is sitting at $678 million for this quarter, the second quarter of 2024, and there is an increase of about 27% year over year. So from previous year to this year, there is an increase of 27% in their revenue. Their net income has gone up by 376%, which is a huge number, and they are currently sitting at $134 million. Their diluted EPS has gone up by 500%, and currently it is at 0.06. Their net profit margin has also increased, and that has increased by 275%, and currently the net profit margin is around 20%. Their operating income is about $105 million, and that is an increase of about 945%. So based on these numbers, Palantir stock looks like a good stock to buy and hold. Now we will go and take a look at the quarterly report, and you can see here, this is what the quarterly report I have. And currently the revenue is at $678 million, and in 2023 the revenue was about $533 million in 2023. So there is an increase of about 27% year over year. Then the other important thing is the gross profit has gone up from $426 million to about $549 million, and this is also an increase of about 28%. The next important thing is their operating expenses have gone up a little bit from $416 million to $444 million. And the most important figure to look at is the net income. And you can see here there is a huge jump from $27 million to about $135 million in their net income. Now, if I want to calculate the CAGR for this, the compounded annual growth rate for this net income, I will use the CAGR calculator here, and I'll go over to this and we'll go over to the calculator. This is my starting value, and this is my ending value, $135 million, and approximately this will come around 300% or more. You can see here it is around 386% increase. So that's a huge increase in the net income. The net income have gone up from 27 million to about $135 million. Now that is what the Q2 revenue looks like. Now let's take a look at some of the highlights of Q2. So you can see here, these are some of the important highlights for Q2. The revenue grew 27% year over year and 7% quarter over quarter. And the revenue is currently sitting at $678 million. Now, Palantir revenue comes from two different types of client. One is the government bodies and the other one is the commercial clients. Now, I want to see the rise of the commercial clients revenue, because that is what is going to keep the company going forward, because there is going to be a stagnant number on government bodies, right? So we want the commercial revenue to increase, and that's exactly what has happened in Q2 of 2024. The US commercial revenue grew 55% year over year and 6% quarter over quarter, and currently it is sitting at $159 million. So the US commercial revenue is at $159, and that is a 55% increase year over year. The US commercial customer count has also gone up by 83% year over year, which is a huge jump, and 13% quarter over quarter to 295 customers. So they currently have total of about 295 US commercial customers. So now their US commercial remaining deal value grew to about 103% year over year and 11% quarter over quarter. Now what is the remaining deal value? Remaining deal value is, let's say you have made a deal with one of your customer, and the deal is about $500 million for the next 10 years. Now they're not going to pay you $500 million upfront. They're only going to pay a certain percentage, and then based on the work you have done, they'll pay you every quarter or every 6 months based on your contract terms. And once they have paid you, that is your revenue. So remaining deal value will convert to revenue once they have paid that amount. So US government revenue also has increased 24% year over year and 8% quarter over quarter. Currently, the US government revenue is sitting at $278 million. Their commercial revenue has gone up by 33% year over year and 3% quarter over quarter to $307 million. Their government revenue grew by 23% year over year and 11% quarter over quarter to $371 million. So there is a US commercial client revenue, and also there is a commercial client revenue which includes clients all over the world. Similarly, you have US government revenue and also the government revenue which includes the government bodies around the world. So that is their government revenue has also gone up. They have closed 27 deals over $10 million, which is a great figure. Their customer count has gone up by 41% year over year and 7% quarter over quarter. Their GAAP net income of about $134 million, which is representing a 20% margin. The difference between GAAP and non-GAAP is if you do accounting per the American standards, it is called as GAAP, and that is important so that you can compare the financials of one company with the other company if they're following the same standards. Non-GAAP is when they don't follow these accounting principles set by the US accounting body, then it is considered as non-GAAP. So these are the highlights from the Q2 of 2024. Now, what are the future outcomes, full year forecast for Palantir? The most important thing, they're saying that they're raising their revenue guidance to between $2.74 billion to about $2.75 billion. So they're expecting the revenue increase, and the revenue should be around 2.7 to about $2.75 billion. They're also expecting to increase their commercial revenue, the US commercial revenue, to be in excess of around $672 million, which is a growth rate of about 47%. That's a huge number. They're also raising their adjusted income from operations guidance to be between $966 million to about $974 million. So these are some of the highlights from the full year. This is what they are projecting for this 2024. Is Palantir a good stock to buy and hold? We will decide that based on the PE number. So if you look at all these highlights from Q2 and their revenue forecast, their revenue growth, it looks like a good stock to buy. But is this a good opportunity to buy? Let's decide that based on the PE ratio. So if I go over to the Palantir stock investing.com, you can see here the PE ratio is sitting at about 147.19, whereas the industry PE ratio is 35.2. That tells me Palantir is an expensive stock, and that is the reason I don't have a very aggressive buy on Palantir stock. I will say whenever the Palantir stock goes down, that is the time you add it to your portfolio. Don't buy at a higher price because it is already, the PE ratio for the stock is very, very high. So it is a buy for me. So that is what I expect from Palantir, and hoping the next year quarter will also be as good as this year's quarter. We will see continued growth in Palantir stock. Now for me, it is definitely a buy for Palantir. What do you think about Palantir stock? Do you think it's a buy, hold, or sell? Do let me know in the comment section. And also, if you like the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any video from the channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to see you tomorrow with another stock video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye, take care.